Welcome back to the Health Marketing Collective, where strong leadership meets marketing excellence. I'm your host, Sara Payne, and this is our 2026 prediction episode. Let me say this up front. If you're looking for a 2026 trend episode about new platforms or tools or the next AI shortcut, this isn't that episode. Because the biggest shift coming in 2026 isn't technological, it's relational. And whether health brands are ready or not, the shift is already happening. And I want you to know where this is coming from. These trends aren't pulled from a report or a prediction deck. They're coming from what I'm seeing every day with marketing leaders, with founders, with executives, people coming on this show who are trying to lead in an environment that's louder, faster, and more automated than ever. And what I'm seeing is this. The brands that are winning right now aren't chasing more. They're choosing closer. So these aren't what's shiny predictions for 2026. They're decisions. And the brands that make them early will have an edge the rest won't be able to catch up to. Let's get right into it. Trend number 1 is human connection becomes the strategy, not the soft stuff. Here's the uncomfortable truth that nobody wants to say out loud. AI is making mediocre marketing incredibly efficient. And that's the problem. Because when everything is faster, cheaper, and easier to produce, meaning becomes scarce. So in 2026, people will crave fewer messages, better conversations, brands that feel present and not automated. And let me be clear, this isn't about rejecting AI. Clearly, it's here to stay and we need to embrace it. Rather, it's about refusing to let AI replace the parts of marketing that build trust. The brands that win won't be the ones pumping out more content. They'll be the ones investing in smaller rooms, longer conversations, real relationships with customers, clinicians, partners, and peers. Think fewer webinars and more invite-only roundtables, less mass content, more thoughtful follow-ups, less automation, more intention. Human connection isn't a tactic in 2026. It's the strategic moat. Trend number 2. Earned media will evolve into earned influence. Let me explain what that means. Earned media isn't dying, but the old definition of it is. We all know it. Earned media is facing a lot of disruption. Media outlets are smaller, newsrooms are leaner, and attention is more fragmented than ever. So in 2026, earned media becomes something much bigger. And that something is earned influence. It's not just where you show up, it's who trusts you. It's who returns your call or your email, who invites you into the conversation, who wants to collaborate with you when it matters. Earned influence lives at the intersection of media, community, relationships, and credibility. And yes, traditional earned media still matters, especially because it's shaping what AI surfaces and validates in people's everyday searches as that volume continues to go up. But if your PR strategy still stops at coverage, you don't have influence, you have exposure. Trend number 3 for 2026, metrics will get smaller and more honest. Let me explain what I mean here. This one makes leaders nervous because in the age of earned influence, the numbers don't look flashy. You're no longer reporting thousands of impressions, endless clips, and vanity reach. You're measuring new relationships started, conversations that have deepened, and you're measuring trust built over time. And yes, those numbers are going to be smaller, but they're real. One trusted relationship with the right person will always outperform 1,000 passive impressions. In 2026, the brands that grow will be brave enough to say, we're done hiding behind volume. Trend number 4. Executive social isn't amplification anymore, it's leadership. If your executive social strategy is, let's post what marketing writes and then move on, that's not leadership. That's performative. That's theater. In 2026, executive presence on social media becomes non-negotiable. I've said this a million times, but it needs to get even more meaningful and deeper, not because it's trendy, but because people want access to how leaders think. That means sharing a real point of view, engaging in conversations, not just posting or reposting, showing curiosity, conviction, and humanity. In terms of channels, it's not surprising. Obviously, LinkedIn is critical, but depending on your audience, don't overlook the power of YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. The channel matters less than the behavior itself because people don't follow brands, they follow people who lead. Trend number 5, the customer is the North Star. And this is really the final warning on this one. It isn't new, but it's more urgent than ever. Audiences are done with brands that center on themselves. If your messaging is still about your solution, your innovation, your roadmap, without grounding it in real customer needs, people are going to push back. It's not just that they won't engage with your content, they're actually going to push back. So in 2026, customer first isn't a positioning statement or a thing that we say, it's table stakes. And you can't fake it because the brands that do will be rejected. My last trend prediction for 2026. Welcome to the age of yes. This one is my favorite. I think we're entering a moment where brands stop asking, does this scale? And start asking, does this matter? In the age of human connection, in the age of trust, in the age of authenticity, the moments that define your brand won't always be big, they'll be personal. It might be your CEO responding to a single piece of customer feedback, your brand showing up quietly for somebody who needed it, or saying yes to something that maybe historically felt too small to matter. Those yeses become your story, not because they went viral, but because they were real. So before you say no in 2026, ask yourself, how could we make this happen? How could we lean in and say yes and make this happen? Because the brands that rise won't be the loudest, they'll be the most human. If there's one thing that I want you to take into 2026, it's this. The future of health marketing isn't louder, it's closer. And the brands that understand that, they won't just survive what's coming, they'll lead it. And we're going to explore more of that together on this show. In 2026, I'll be bringing on guests who don't just talk about these trends, but they're actually building inside of them. Leaders who are rethinking influence and what meaningful marketing really looks like. But I don't want this to be a one-way conversation. If you've got a perspective on what's coming next in health marketing, put it out there. Share your own 2026 predictions. Challenge mine and tag me when you do, please. Because that's how these conversations grow. And that's where I'm finding future guests. Because the future doesn't belong to the loudest voices. It belongs to the ones who are willing to show up and engage. Lastly, before we wrap, I want to pause for a moment of gratitude. The show isn't about me, it's about you. It's about the collective of health marketing leaders who believe marketing is more than promotion. It's business strategy, it's customer experience, and it's a force for real change in the industry. The conversations, the impact, and even the recognition that this show has received is a reflection of the collective wisdom of this community. And I'm incredibly grateful for that and to continue to learn from you and to build this together with you. Thanks for joining me. I hope you had an awesome 2025, and I'm looking forward to an even more amazing 2026. We'll see you next time.